Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review, and today we're going to be looking at the Wuben X-2 and I'll go through some of my general thoughts. I've used the flashlight for about a week now, as I normally do with all of my lights, just to make sure I've given it a proper rundown and see if there's any issues that crop up during the week. And overall, I really like how Wuben have been breaking the mold on some of their new flashlights, and in terms of what they even look like. You know, you've got the normal tube design that you see in most manufacturers, but look at this. I mean, it's just so appealing in terms of its uniqueness and the practicality of it as well. Being able to fit 2 batteries in there in such a small package gives you extra runtime, but still allows you to be able to pocket this flashlight. So I think it's an excellent little design. It takes two 14-500 cells and puts out 2,500 lumens. Pretty impressive. So overall construction, let's bring it up a little bit closer so you can see, but you know, quite a nice rugged design, and it's got this kind of cyberpunk techno sci-fi kind of look. It reminds me a bit of the Wuben X-0 as well, one of my previously reviewed flashlights that uses this same switch, and you basically just open it up like that to charge the flashlight. It comes down, and when you press the button, because I've got it locked. Oh, no, I don't have it locked at the moment, but normally when you have it locked, you'll have this little blue flashy light. Can you see that? Just a little blue flashy light there, just telling you that it's locked. When you connect the USB charger on there, this light here will light up and tell you the battery voltage. And when it's done, you know, I like this clip. The fact that they've used I think, you know, a clip with a bit more spring to it as well, because I found with the X0 the clip had almost zero spring and it was very hard to actually clip it onto my pocket. You know, for that particular usage, I mean, if you're clipping it onto something and you don't plan to take it off anytime soon, it's going to hold better. But this one is just more versatile. You can clip it into your pocket, you clip it onto your bag, and I just like how large that clip is as well. So kind of attached by a couple of screws here, and it looks sharp, you know, on some of the edges, but when you actually get close to it and touch it, they've all been chamfered, sort of machined off on the edges, so it is very comfortable to use. It's not going to catch on to anything or rip a hole in your pocket or anything like that. You know, like that bezel style as well, pretty simple and just joins on to the rest of the body. So needless to say, really high quality construction. I like the anodization as well, kind of like a shiny black. You can get these in micro arc oxidation. I'm pretty sure you can also get them in copper and titanium too. So lots of different design options depending on what you like. It has 3 P9 emitters, so just over here you can see underneath there, and they are connected together with these horizontal overlapping orange peel reflectors. And yeah, it kind of just joins together, create a nice, smooth, floody beam. Glass lens with AR coating as well. I have found overall with P9 emitters that they're very efficient, produce less heat than other emitters like the SST40. So having 3 of them in here is quite a good option, because it's going to reduce the amount of heat, but still be able to pump out quite a lot of lumens. You can also get this version in the 3 times LH351D LEDs, so the Samsung LEDs, and those have a very high color rendering index if that's important for you. Like I mentioned before, bezel's pretty similar to the rest of the body. There are some screws here, so you can unscrew them using, it looks like they're Torx screws. There you can unscrew and probably get into the head if you want to mess around with the LEDs. And yeah, we've sort of talked about the USB-C charging as well, the 14-500 cells in the back. I don't believe these are replaceable. I've seen others who have opened up the back of the light, taken out the battery pack, and it's apparently 2 14-500 cells that are kind of sealed together in a little shrink tube, and there's some wiring connected to it. So it's not something that you can easily replace, and Wuben also tell you not to actually unscrew and get into the flashlight. Apart from the light itself, you get a lanyard and you get the manual, but I want to show you something really cool with the lanyard, and this goes to show that Wuben are really putting on their thinking hats, coming up with something different. I've not seen this before, but check this out. I thought this was just a simple lanyard. Okay, it's a pretty big one, kind of looks like a sports lanyard, but when you press this button here, you can pull it out and it turns into a charging cable. I mean, isn't that amazing that they've managed to fit a charging cable in there? It's the last thing that you'd think of. but it's a great little option. And, you know, especially if you are running low on space, or you just want to have a lanyard and a charger all in one, I mean, you really can't beat that. So pop that back in like that, and it just seals again. Okay, so nice little perk there compared to a few other flashlights that I have. You notice here, got the Workhorse TS10, the Wuben X-2. You know, here you've got the Sofirn SC32, SC31 Pro over here as well, and the SC18. So lengthwise it's shorter and it's a little bit wider, but at the end of the day, this is actually less noticeable in your pocket. If you lay it down flat, because the clip's going to be on the outside of your pocket, it's actually flatter than all these other flashlights. So even the Workhorse TS10, I believe it's, well, the TS10 is almost the same height of it when it's squished down, but, you know, this has twice the battery capacity. So let me just go through the UI a little bit. So like I mentioned, I had to lock the flashlight, and it comes locked when you get it. So when you press the button down, you'll see that little flashy blue light in there. Okay, so you're going to need to press that button 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that light will just sort of turn on. That's on the lowest mode. You can click and hold to access that lowest mode as well. So say if you're, you click and hold to ramp up. So low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Okay, double tap to get into turbo, and you can double tap to get into turbo in any mode. So you might be in low, double tap, you can get into turbo. You know, the light may be off even, you can double tap and get to turbo. I think that's a nice little design feature I found on the X0, that you can only get into turbo once the light is switched on and you double click. So really, I think that's quite essential with any EDC light, just have quick access to the turbo feature. Another thing you can do as well is pre-program all the different modes. So for example, you've got this lowest mode here, click and then click hold to increase the brightness of it like that. Okay, and it actually memorizes that as your low mode. So when we switch it on again, it's that mode. Then when you hold again, it just ramps up to the other two. So your low then becomes kind of like a little bit higher, as you can see. But if you want to switch it back, get to that mode again, click, click, hold, and oops, click, click, hold again. Kind of goes all the way up to the top, and then you got to click again to go down like that. There you go, and it's back to that lowest mode. There's a way to reset it as well if you lose your way or set it to the wrong levels. So really nice that they've included this little programmable feature in there. You don't see that with many lights out there. I've just left mine to the basic settings, and there's a few other little hidden modes as well. You can access strobe, so triple click, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and if you triple click again, it allows you to get into the SOS mode. Okay, and that's it. Triple click then goes back into the strobe mode. So yeah, nice that it's kind of hidden in there and it's separate from all the other modes. I don't want us to be going through the general modes and accidentally stumbling upon that. Here's a quick ceiling bounce test that I've got up on the screen. You can have a look at it, and you can see it holds 100% of its 2,500 lumens up to the 1 minute mark. Then it drops down to about 30% of the output and holds. And what I've done is that I've actually reactivated turbo again. You can see just before the 4 minute mark, I've turned the flashlight on and it's activated turbo. Then it started ramping down quickly. So there is a temperature module in here that detects how hot the flashlight is. And so that's why it's ramped down a little bit quicker. So you can see I've actually activated turbo the 3rd time near the 5 minute mark. It's already detected the light is too hot and is ramping down. This is a good thing. You don't want it to burn itself out. Let's take a look at some measurements that I've taken with my Opal Lightmaster Pro. And on the turbo, the specifications read 146 meters on the box. But if you look at what I've measured, I've got 165 meters on switch on. So I think that was pretty good. Being able to also get quite a decent throw on the high mode. So 69 meters, that's going to do you quite good for low and medium distance objects. You've got the CCT readings here. I wasn't able to measure it in the low. It was just too low to pick up. So 5,600K up to 6,000K. So it seems to go up as you increase the brightness, and the color rendering index, nothing special there, 68 to 69. You can pause the video if you want to have a look a bit further. You think with this sort of reflector that the beam profile might look a little bit odd with artifacts, but I didn't notice any issues. It has a kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but like a longer hotspot in the center, but you get more of a very wide beam with most of the light focused in the center. It's almost a 180-degree beam, so you can see into your peripheries if you hold the flashlight like this. Obviously, if you hold it like that, it's a bit of a different story, but I find this is the more natural way to actually hold the lights. Very comfortable and fits in the palm of your hand nicely. Also like that there's a nice smooth transition from the hotspot to the spill. Easily pocketable. Just remember to lock this flashlight out. And 2000 milliamp hour is really great for the size of this light. Normally you'd need to have like a double extension tube, like a much longer light. So having it in this kind of format allows you to double the capacity, the battery capacity, and increase even the overall brightness and still be able to fit this thing in your pocket. So excellent design. It's practical as well as different at the same time. So, considerations, like I mentioned, it is a little bit different. The unusual design may not be your cup of tea, and it wasn't something that I thought I'd be interested in, but turns out it's just so practical and it's so easy to hold on and use. Can't really feel it in your pocket as well. Just slides into the side, but just produces so much brightness compared to some other pocketable lights that I have. This one is really the brightest that is able to actually hold on and sustain the lumen output as well. Another thing to keep in mind as well is that the battery appear to be unreplaceable. If I tried, I think I could probably replace the batteries myself, but again, it says that it can't be done in the manual. Don't disassemble the light, so you really do that at your own risk. This is the X1, the older brother of the Wuben X2. This appears to have replaceable batteries, but again, Wuben suggests not to open this light up. Overall, I really like this unique design and these new lights that Wuben have been introducing on the market. It has a high battery capacity, long runtime relative to its size. So if you're looking for a floody EDC flashlight, this is definitely one for you. Design is refreshing. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I definitely like it and it feels a lot more comfortable in my pocket. This would be one of my top picks for a floody EDC flashlight. So if you're interested in this flashlight, there is a 10% coupon code that I've left in the description below. Have a look, check it out. You can buy it directly from the Wuben website. I'm sure I've missed out some points here and there, so let me know if you have any questions in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you like the video as well, do me a favor, click the like button. It doesn't cost you anything and helps me to get my videos out to more people. And yeah, if you want to see me make more flashlight reviews, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. On turbo. Very nice floody beam. And it's such a wide beam as well. It's almost 180 degrees. I mean, it's flat on the ground. The edges sort of taper or curve off a little bit, but look at that. It even gets to those trees in the back as well. There's 3 P9 emitters. And does not seem to be ramping down. Here's off again. I actually put it on the lower mode so you can see. You can't really see this one, but it does ramp up as you can see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then double tap, and you got turbo. I'll go walk up a little bit so you can see the beam pattern. This also comes with a red filter, and I'll show you what it looks like on the red filter turbo. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to see actually. If I walk up ahead, you might be able to see.